And here we go. Hos in the accusative. These, Tamen. However, nevertheless, in quadquaginta enos, in that amount of years, through the fathers, and there's the qui, and the sons, the Fabians and the Papipros, so fathers and sons, some generations here, they thus subjugated these people and tamed them. Thus, so, we have two thuses here. The ruins themselves of the cities, have been diruited, they've been destroyed, overturned, so that today, requiring or seeking or looking for Semnium today in the Semnio region itself is not easily apparent, or it takes the subjunctive, that the material 4 and 20 of triumphs, so it's not easy to see today that they had enough material to make 24 triumphs for the Romans over them, so they really must have destroyed it quite a lot. Maxime, or especially, however, nevertheless nevertheless a great nota in illustrious clades. It looks like go together, the opposition. So, a known and famous disaster at the Cordonus Furculus, which are forks, so I don't know if that ever should be a proper noun as well, but at the Claudinine forks from this race, it looks like with the consuls Veturius and Postumius, we accepted a very known and famous sort of disaster. So these people had inflicted some troubles on the Romans. Cluso, looks like a singular person is shut in through ambuscades, insidious, amongst these Ium Saltum. This is a defiled mountain pass type thing. Looks like the exercitu. The army was the male. It was closed in through this sort of deceit and treachery and ambush, and from where this army was not posset to evade. It was not able to evade or escape. Stupens, someone in the nominative, it looks like the dux, stupefied the general of the enemy, Hostium, Pontius Heranium. He was stupefied at such an opportunity. He consulted his patron. He asked his father. Et illi, guessing this is the father, miteret all of them or kill them. So dismiss them or kill them. He sapienta wisely said, or as the senior, as the rather older person persuaded that they should all be killed or loose. So hic. He preferred, so the son here looks like he's preferred to send them away exutos of their arms, with their arms shed, their weapons, maybe shields, etc., and to send them under the yoke, which means the sign of humiliation, really, that they've been beaten. Ut nec, so they would not be friends by this beneficial sort of action, and post this disgrace, they were more hostiles. They were more hostile, or they were still enemies. Friends and hostes is enemies. Itaquiet. And so, also, the consuls start immediately, magnificate as an adverb, by their voluntary surrender, they dirimited, they drove off this turpitudinem, this disgrace of having a treaty, with this well-known sort of voluntary surrender, so that the soldiers were demanding an ultionem, which is revenge, with Paprico as their general, a horribile thing in to say, but with a strictus ansibus, with their swords drawn, through the way itself, before the fight, they furited. So the soldiers have gotten angry here. And in congressu, this is where the armies are clashing, the enemy are the authors or the authorities or the writers who say that the eyes of all of them, all the Romans, were arissae, they were burning. Neither prior was there given a finish, an end to all this slaughter, priusquam. Prior then, they demanded the hostibus, the enemy, and with their leader captured, that they should go under the yoke as well. So this was an act of ultiation, which is revenge. So the Romans got their half as well. So chapter 12 is called Bellum Etruscum Samnites and Gauls gallows as well. So Hactanus, thus far, with single groups of races, they were fighting, but soon a curvatum, another adverb there, a lot of masses of races together. But nevertheless, thus, they were also par to all of these. They were up to the challenge. Etruscorum duodecim populi, so 12 people groups or tribes of the Etruscans. The Umbrians, who were in this time intacto, they haven't been touched by war. They are the most antiquitous, the most oldest people of Italy. And of the Samnites, what was reliquary, what was left of the Sem, they all conurrated together. They conspired together into the destruction, the excidium. What have we got of the name Romani, of the Roman name? Reperte, another adverb-looking thing. Okay, I just looked in the lobe, and that's actually repente. So suddenly they all conspired together. There was an ingens terror. There was a huge terror. So many at the same time, and of such massive amounts of people groups, of tribes. Late, widely, far and wide, through Etruria, must be an area. Infesta means hostile. So there's 4 hostile standards were flying about of the agmines. These are the columns of armies. So basically it looks like there's 4 hostile standards coming from these people up here, I'm guessing, and they come together through Etruria to fight the Romans. Okay, Cimmerianus interim. Meanwhile, Cimmerianus Saltus, these are these glades again, or I think it's a forest, which was in the middle. Before, in previous times, it was in Vius, it was pathless. Via is a road. If you have DVA in Vius, all these things show that there's no roads there. Plenty. Clearly, just as the Caledonian forest or the Hercynius were, so he's just comparing it to other forests. To such an extent, then, was there such terror, that the Senate denounced to the consul, that not such perils should they dare to ingredo. They shouldn't dare to go into such danger, in other words. Sed nihil horum, but nothing of that terrified the general. I'm more of a quo minus man myself, but stopped him from doing something. He explored the access, the way there. Having prey, meaning in front, sent out his brother in front to explore. I'm guessing this is his brother, his fratre. He went through the night in the habitu of a pastoral, in the gear of a shepherd, as a speculatus. He looked about, saw, and he referred to everything. He brought back news of everything, that there was a tutum ita, there was a safe passage. Sic, thus Fabius Maximus, a very dangerous war, without periculo, without danger, he expliquited. He unfolded, basically. He showed a way to have a wage dangerous war without danger. For subito, for suddenly, inconditos, unready, and palanting, they're straggling people wandering about, aggressives, for they attacked the unready and the stragglers. And having captured the superior bus Euguses, these are the ridges, having captured the high up ridges, he thundered down his law into the subjectos, into the people below. Namqui, for this species, this was the appearance of this type of war. This was the appearance of this type of war. This is what it looked like. As if into the accusatives, people genest on the terres, which means people born on land, from the heavens and the clouds, as if they were throwing their tellers, their weapons, upon people born on the ground from the heavens. That's what he's comparing that to. Neck. Neither was this incruenta, ungory, blood-splattered. Nevertheless, this was not a victory incruenta. It wasn't a blood-free victory. For oppressors in the sinew of the valley, in the fold of the valley or bend of the valley, Decius, in the way of his father, this is another consul, he made his vow to the underworld gods. He offered ferrotuli, what is it, latis, that's the 3 versions of that are irregular. So he offered his head as a vow to these gods anyway, so he's looks like it's end up bad for him. And in the solemn rites of his family, Suo family, he'd consecrated this. He redegated the price. He paid the price in the victory of his own death. He must have been one of these gory, blood-stained people who died. It looks like his family was pretty solemn. And that's it.